Hello, everyone. Welcome to this new live session of Customily. We're going to get started in just a couple of minutes. Okay, well, let's start this live session with the basics. What is Customily? Well, most of you installed the app quite recently and are either getting started with your store from scratch or beginning the process of selling personalizable products on an existing store. Now, for both cases, we have the perfect tools to get started. So, Customily is a web app that installs in your store and provides you with live previews of products along with options that your customers will interact with, changing the live preview with every interaction. So, for example, from text typing to clip art selection or even image upload, your preview will change live and give you a realistic example of how your customization will look on the product. In this particular case, this poster we have, there's a design that we set up, and in fact, you can customize a location on the planet. So you can click on the text input and be able to play around and search for any location on the world. You can type in those locations if you want to, like this, and see how everything goes straight there and find your location. Select it and it will update your preview automatically. Some features that we have in Customily include street maps that have multiple styles. And like I said, text input and automatically update on the front end. In this case, also this particular design has for you the chance to have a text area, and you can type in the names of students because this particular product is a gift for teachers, like this, and so on. Can be one by one, can one be next to the other. These are fields that customers will be able to interact with and change the live preview. You will get a realistic presentation of what you're going to be purchasing, what you're customizing on your site. Another example we have here, this is another design for a teacher gift as a poster in which you can select two locations instead of one. You can also type in that location and see how that changes live, as well as, well, customize pretty much anything else about this. In this case, this is a blue map and this is a red map. Now, imagine before this, how would you customize a product like this? You will have to present a lot of images to present to your customers all the possible options, ideas, and solutions. They will have to input their information, wait for the order to be processed. You will have to contact them, go back and forth with emails and proofs until they are happy with the product, with the design. You will then need to fulfill that, creating a print file. Now, Customily has come here to simplify all the process. Not only your customers have the full control of what they want to customize in a very scenario and design, and we are really fast interface, but you as a merchant will get this information in a ready-to-print file that you can just go and send to fulfill. So it saves you a lot of time when coming back and forth with customers. They will see the real preview, you will get the print file, and all will be simplified by Customily. Now this preview and is done by loading a template on the page. And these options are part of a file called the option set. Now these two elements, the template and the option set, are created in Customily. So if you follow the steps of creating a template from scratch, you'll be able to create the options automatically, and you can connect those two elements to any of your existing products. As simple as that. So By building those two files, you can connect to any product. And of course, we have the chance to create new products as well as work with existing products. So it's very important to see that we have a chance to help with both kind of stores, the stores from scratch or the stores that already exist and are looking to start customizing their products. Let me tell you a bit more about when would you be creating new products. And that's why we created Customily 2.0. Now, what is this? This is our latest update for Etsy and Shopify stores, which allows you to create and publish personalized products easier, faster, and better than before. Now, those starting your stores from scratch, like I said, will have more interest in this section because now you can choose a product directly from a print on demand supplier, add a design to it, and get it published in your store, all from the Customily app. And also with the print on demand services that have an API connection, all the fulfillment processes will be automated. This means that once you receive a purchase, all the order details and the ready to print file will be sent to the corresponding POD provider automatically for fulfillment and shipping. So Customily is not only saving you time on the back and forth proofing of the design, it's saving you time on the print file creation and also can save you time on the fulfillment part. Now, another interesting thing about Customily 2.0 for Etsy and Shopify stores alike is the free access to Customily's design libraries. This means now that you can find designs ready to use and sell, or you can use the exclusive clipart from Customily to create your own designs. And we're going to see more of that next. But first, let me go and simplify a bit of how Customily 2.0 works. Try to position yourself and what do you need right now for your store. If you have existing products, you may want to look for live sessions in which we specifically create templates and connect them to products and create the options. But if you're starting from scratch or you have a brand new line of products that you're going to be offering for customization, you may want to ask yourself where you are in these following scenarios. To begin with, you can work with a print-on-demand provider who has its own product catalog and add a design from Customily's library to it. This is the fastest path, the one that allows you to have a published product ready to sell in minutes. You can work with a print-on-demand provider, but choose to add your own designs to the products. In this case, you will have to populate your design library before being able to publish products in your store. And we have a great design studio to create your own art based on images and ideas and concepts you have from either Photoshop, Canva, or any other design software that you may be using. Now, on the other hand, if you have your own products and you're not interested in working with a print-on-demand provider, the way to go is to start by populating your product-based library first. You have your own workshop or you work with an outside agent for fulfillment and you have your product specifications, so you can create your own mockups and your own bases. And then after you have your own product mockups, you can choose to add a design from the Customily's library to them and create and publish the products in your store. Or you can, of course, add your own designs to your own products. And this is the path that involves more time. But if you have your ideas clear and you put together all your mockups and your designs, all you will have to do next is do a mix and match game to be able to create and launch these new products. Okay, so now that we have a clear idea of all the possibilities that Customily offers you, and you have thought to yourself, where am I positioned at? We are going to create some products together. Okay, let's start from the beginning. Imagine I'm a store owner. Okay, I have a Shopify store, I have an Etsy store, and I want to start selling personalized products. So I just install Customily to try it out. Here we are in the main menu of Customily. Right when you install the app, you will get an onboarding that I really recommend that you answer a couple of questions and you follow the examples given because it's the best way to walk you through here. But also navigating through the app using our live sessions will be a great way to get started. Okay, in the main menu of Customily, you will see to the left bar that we have 7 sections. The first 3 sections are shortcuts to the 2.0 tools. The other 3 sections we see below are the main core of Customily. And here you can explore, manage, and create your templates or upload and organize your assets in libraries. There are color libraries, fonts, vectors, and images. And you can see all your connected products in the store section, as well as change many settings that will help you customize the front end experience of your customers. In the orders section, you'll be able to see all the orders that have been placed by different products in your store using different print on demand or fulfillments, and you will be able to double check and see the customization information, the preview, the print files. It's a great way to have a backup of everything, even though there's always a backup on the platform in the order sections. Okay, well, today we're going to create the products I showed you at the beginning. We're going to create a teacher Apple poster and hearts teacher Apple and hearts poster. We're going to be working with a print-on-demand provider called Gearment. They have these posters, 24 by 16 inches poster. And what we're going to do is we're going to create 2 designs. So you see, if we go back to the beginning, in the first page of Customily, in the Start section, you have this big button to start creating new products. Remember that 2.0 tools, the first tools, are meant for you to manage designs and products and create new listings in your stores. So by creating a new product, I will be creating a new listing. Here you can see that you can work with your own products, or you can connect to any of the print-on-demand providers we have integrated with. Those who say here automatic fulfillment are those who have API connection. And if you have an account with them, you can grab the API key from them and input that in Customily to fully connect, integrate, and guarantee the automatic fulfillment. So whatever product you create with this with this interface will automatically send the print file to fulfillment on any of these print-on-demand providers. Let's see how you can connect the API key. Basically, if you have an account with them, you should be logged into the account. And inside Customily, go to the settings area here at the top. Look for the integrations tab. And here you will see a drop-down menu in which you can select what print-on-demand provider you wish to integrate. In this case, I'm going to pick Gearment, and I'm going to click on Enable Integration. That will put Gearment here on my list. You see I have already integrated with Printful and Printify, and now I have Gearment ready to go. I need a couple of data, API key and API signature. How do I find this? Well, I can click here in this link and go to our help center to find exactly where should I find for the different PODs, where should I find the API key. It's a very colorful and clear guide. You all have to do is copy the API key and go back to Customily to paste it here. The key will be validated, and that's all you need. What you need to do is click on Save Settings. It will go green, and now you are integrated with that print-on-demand provider. So back in the Start section, you can see that you can start creating a new product, but you can also browse through your 2 collections, your product collection, that's when you create your own product bases, and your design collection. That's where you're not using Customily designs, you're using your own designs. Whenever you combine a product base from your collection or from a print-on-demand provider, you pick one of these products or these products and you combine them with a design, you create a unique listing with a unique template. The template is what's going to load on the front end, is going to give you the live preview. So you can manually do that template step by step or automate some steps by using the 2.0 tools. And today we're going to do that. We're going to actually have one single product from Gearment and create two designs. Okay, so let's see which product we want to create. So I'm going to click on Gearment and I will see that a catalog shows up full of products that have been integrated with Customily. We keep adding more products every month, and if you would like us to include a product that is still not here and you wish to start selling, all you have to do is request that product and we'll see to integrate that. But there's a lot of ideas and a lot of things that are trending, and we try to keep up with that from our customer feedback and our print-on-demand providers' feedback. So I'm going to go for the 24 by 16 inches poster, right? When I click on the product, I get to select if we have at least one or more variants. For example, when you may have different sizes, different colors, different materials. Depending on that, you may select which ones you want to sell. In this case, we only have one color, one size, everything is ready to go. So when you click next, you have already set up the base product and you need to go and find your design. The design can come from the Customily app. In this case, I'm going to click here and I will find a lot of designs. I mean, over 200 designs, categorized, organized, and really looking great that you can explore and see, get inspired, and then break into pieces and use the characters and change the background. There's a lot of ideas here that you can start with something. So great ideas for different occasions and time of the year, so you can explore. Or we can go back and click to pick from our designs. If we don't have a design, we're going to create a new design. So let's go to the start menu, because here we have this, create a new design. When we start off by creating a new design, by default, we have a really big square to start working on. And this one's going to be, let's start with the with the hearts. 2 hearts map. That's the name of the design. Okay, this square is just a guide for you to get started, but we can change the proportions and the size of our design because, well, mainly we may want to design specifically for a landscape product or a portrait product. So this is our design studio and we can start playing around with different tools. I will go by resizing this precisely to what I'm going to sell. So inches, 24 by 16. Yeah, like that. That's my new design. So if we're going to be starting with the 2 hearts, check this out. I always recommend that you first get an idea of what you want to offer in your designs, so you know what kind of information you're needing. We know that we are going to be offering 2 maps. Also, we're going to be having like this quote or legend or message, and we will allow our customers to pick the location in both maps and to be able to type in the location or a date or a name or whatever. This is a free text input element. So what does our design studio offers? Here we have a lot of tools for customers to personalize their products. We have text boxes, so when we pick straight or curved, we are basically allowing customers to type in whatever they want in a text field. That text field will show up in our customization, in our product, and you can change the fonts and the colors and so on. We have also placeholders. These objects for images and vectors are meant for your customers to upload their own files. Okay, so you will have a blank area and they can upload their own images, their own logos, and whatever. But you provide the space for them to customize in that way. Also, we have map features, street map and star map. And these maps, basically what they do is offer your customers the chance to customize and preview any location on the map. To finish up, we have the dynamic elements, dynamic images and vectors. You see, these are, instead of having like a blank picture, they have like several small pictures, meaning that these objects are meant for you to upload your own artwork, your own backgrounds, your own clip art. If you upload one element, definitely it will be like a background element or something that will be part of your design. If you upload 20 different images inside the same object, you're basically giving choices. So that's when customers can pick from different colors, different patterns, different hairstyles or whatever. They are picking from different images inside the same object. So dynamic elements are really important, and we use them a lot to upload whatever file we need, whatever image file we need to improve our design. Is to start with the text element, right? So what we do is we create a box, and you can move this around and place it anywhere you want, like this. And you can try and type anything into this text field just to see how it looks. It's very handy because if you want your customers to type anything, they should actually you should preview what they're going to be doing and avoid any inconveniences like too small of a text or too big or too limited in the characters. So for example, we may want this to say, look where you started. So we're going to type that. And definitely this is not kind of the best font. So let's see if we can find something in the fonts. If you have your own fonts and you have your own ideas, you can always upload them from your computer in this icon here, and you will be able to upload your own fonts. They will be saved in your database, and you can play around with this in here, like that. Or for example, this will be like a nice font. And the thing is, this is looking pretty small, so we can actually set this to be bigger and see if we can fit it as much as we can inside of the box. Also, if we keep typing, the thing is, this is going to start going really small until we hit the minimum size, which is this. Wow, this is too small. So we don't want this to be that small. So we're going to set a minimum size to, let's say, 100, right? So if we were to keep typing, it would stay around that size, like that. Now I'm going to later fix this text to be always displaying, and I'm going to show you how. But right now I created one text element, and if I want to use the same logic, all I have to do is hit Control C and Control V to paste another element here. Remember, this was just Control plus C or Command plus C to copy and V to paste. And here we're going to put the other message and where you are now. Yeah, like that. Like I said, we have two text elements, and this is just a message. This is just a testing out message, and we're going to fix that later. But to be honest, I can put this any way I want. Okay, so and where you. Excellent. Okay, so here's the interesting part of today's live session is we are going to try and shape up our map to look like this. Actually, our two maps. We have one map here, and we are going to create another map here. Two map elements will, of course, behave differently, and they will, well, they don't look like this at all. And why? Because we need to create something called an overlay. An overlay is a PNG image that will go over everything here, but will have a couple of holes, basically, that we can shape up any way we want. So this part of the live session is actually on another software. If you recall, we made a special live session about Canva, and of course, this particular file cannot be done with the Canva tools, but can be done in any graphic design software like GIMP or Photoshop. I'm going to use Photoshop just so you can see the step-by-steps, but any free software can also replicate the same concepts. It's going to be really simple in the concepts. So we're going to open our Photoshop and create a new document. This document will have, of course, the same size as our display, okay? And we start off in a blank, in a blank rectangle. We will not have a blank rectangle. Unlike our example here, we will kind of change this to have another background look, basically because we want the contrast to show on the mockup that comes from Gearment. So back in here, we are going to start off with a very slightly effect like this to create this kind of message, okay? This will be our background. So what do we do now? We need to create the hearts. The reason why we create the hearts is because we are going to pick the heart and make a hole in this background, basically. So looking at your in your design software, you will find something called the free form area here, in which you can set any form, and there's a lot of things available, but the heart is the one we're going to be using. We can set the color that we want for each heart. In this case, I'm going to be creating a heart that is purple, okay? And like that, I will do a heart like this. Remember, we have a couple of texts here, so we need to make sure that our design is actually around, is kind of respecting the titles, okay? And at the same time, we need some space to put the location here. But this seems to be like a nice place to put one heart. Then I'm going to, this heart is actually right now is a floating element. And if I raster this, it becomes a new layer. I can actually I can copy this layer. Let me see if I can just drag here and copy instead of just Control C and B to copy. Can the overlay have a feathered edge? Yes, that's a great question, and actually something we're going to show right now. But first, I need to actually make the holes. Remember, these hearts are meant to punch holes in the background, right? But not only that, we're going to create a special effect. And remember that we have the hearts changing colors. So I'm going to pick the blue, and I'm going to paint, this in blue. So now I have these two hearts. So let me see if I can grab them together and see if they can be centered. Yeah, that's more like it. Now that I have these two shapes and the background, here comes the interesting part. There's a tool called the magic wand that can select pretty much anything that resembles in color in the same limits and shape. So I can click on one heart and it will select everything. Also, I can pick another layer and select the other as well. And you see they are glowing because they are selected together. And more important, if we right click here, there's something this is called fading. And the fading can be set to 0 pixel or at least 1 pixel, 0.1, which is extremely sharp. Or you can you can manage this number to make it a bit more feathered. And that's the great question that we receive. So by 10 pixels, it will kind of create a slight edging and adjusting on the edges. It's very it's not easy to notice, but once this is selected, what we're going to do is a selection can always be part of each layer, or if you pick another layer, the selection is still active, but will affect the active layer. So right now, I may have used these two hearts to make this glowing selection, but I'm picking the background to be the one to be affected. How do I want this to be affected? Basically, I'm going to hit the delete key, and I just made a hole in the layer. How can I double check this? I can hide the other two hearts and see my punched holes. Yeah. So great thing is I could actually grab this layer and save this to be a PNG. PNGs can save transparency, so they become very handy in Customily. I'm just going to click on export this as PNG, and I'm going to call this the simple hearts. If I were to return to Customily, I could actually use my dynamic image element to create an overlay and use that shape and that punched holes background to change my entire design. How? I'm going to click on the transform tab here, and 9.6 by 406.4. This is the biggest size, okay? And I'm going to upload an image. The image I'm going to upload is the simple hearts. You see how the entire design has changed now. And if I go to the layer manager, I can see that this one is on the top, but I can just drag this a bit down so the texts are above, but the maps should be below. Then I can click on the lock to lock it so it doesn't move by accident. And I can just make sure my maps are like this. So it's starting to look really into something, correct? Let's see if we can, let's see if we can make sure this is a bit as sharp as possible. Okay, and this one will be the same. Okay, and we can grab both of them and align them vertically. Okay, 260. Oh, that was. These are vertically aligned and perfect, and all I have to do is drag this here. Okay, so far so good, but what if we want to make this with the color effect? We go back to Photoshop and we activate our two hearts. Now, because these are plain colors, we no longer need the selection, so let's unselect. Yeah. So basically, these two elements are too opaque. But there's something called inside the layer here, there's something called opacity that we can control and reduce. So when we pick each one of these hearts and reduce the opacity, we turn them into transparent. Not fully transparent, but somewhere along the way. And we can, instead of saving all these together, saving one by one, all we can do is go to export and export PNG, so it will export everything. And we can call this the color heart. Now we can go back to Customily, and the same design we have here. This is locked, so remember, you cannot select, so you can unlock, select it, and change our image to this one. And see how the effect is changed. It's still showing the maps, but it's also transparent because of the effect we created. You can go back to your software and practice more and save different alternatives. turn out, play around with the different transparencies and stuff. But in the end, the idea is to get that effect. And we kind of didn't miss this. That was a nice shot, nice calling there. What do we need to finish this design? We need to click and create another text box. This one will go down here and be a bit small. Yeah, like that. Probably like this. And center on the heart tip. Let's put another font here. Let's call this the honey. Wait, no. Which one's the one that I liked? This could be one, or the other one was the. Okay, that could be. I think it was this. Yeah. Excellent. Again, we can play around with the minimum and the maximum size. Just make sure that they don't go this small. So let's try with that and see how big we want this to be or how small this could be. Let's stay with 40. So this can go this small, no more than that. And we can actually copy this and paste it again, put it here to be part of this other one, grab the two of them and make sure they are aligned. Yeah. This could be a great design. Nothing else has to be done here, but we're going to do some extra details. For example, we're going to rename most of this stuff. Why? Because when we rename this, we make sure that the labels of our options are looking exactly like this. Select the purple location and the purple heart and stuff like that. So by renaming, we remember stuff and we work around. First of all, this is the overlay. Keep it locked so nothing moves around. This is the purple heart location, the blue heart location. First text, this is the look where you started. And I'm going to name this exactly like this, and you will see why. And this will also be named exactly like this. This will be the purple heart location. Oh, no. That's more type. Okay. And type the perfect. Now that we have everything here, we can save our design. After the design is saved, remember that the options are also saved. So you can go back to your options and you can make changes. If you make changes to the options, now you'll be able to replicate them to any future products, canvas, posters, or acrylics or whatever, without having to modify the options one by one. Because each time you create a new product, a new set of options is copied from the originals. So if you modify the originals, you make sure that this modification, this customization will replicate. To that, we're going to, well, first we're going to open the preview options here. Fascinated with this new tool, and see, well, the purple heart location will basically be the map. Okay. Then we have the blue heart location. Okay, that's the other location. And look where you started. This is supposed to be a fixed text. So we're going to we're going to copy this message here and put it in the initial value. So whenever we start customizing, this message always shows up. And because we don't want our customers to modify this message, we will hide the option and it disappeared from here. The same way it's going to be done here in the end where you're now. This is a very quick tool to fix text on the design, but keeping the fonts and keeping everything, just hiding an option with a fixed value. Now, in the end, the only thing we need and the only thing we have left to do is to think about the way our customers will be customizing this. These two text elements will be all the way to the end because they're not showing. But okay, the first heart will be the purple heart location. It's a map, and then I want to type in the location. Then I want to select the blue location and type in the blue location. That's basically the experience that we want for our customers. Let's save it, and we can create the product. But let's say we want to also create another design because we want to see if the same product will perform correctly on both designs. So let's go and jump into the other design, and then we're going to create both products at the same time. Let's create a new design, and the thing we know is this is the Apple design map. Again, we are still working with a 24 by 16 poster, so let's resize this to 24 by 16. And well, we actually have an idea because the idea is to always start with an inspiration. So our inspiration was to see an apple with a little worm here and be able to add the text around. But we want the map to show on the apple. So we need a single color apple to be the element we're going to punch on the background. And we also need the worm to put it in here. Let's go to Photoshop and let's create a new file. 24 by 16 inches landscape, create. Let's unlock the background. And the reason why I want to unlock the background is because, again, I'm going to do some painting like that. We don't want this to be just white. Now, we are going to punch a apple-shaped heart in this background. So we need to actually open the graphic of the apple, okay? And this graphic actually is just black and white, so we could actually click on the select this with the command key. Oh, no, it's selecting everything, don't worry. Let's just find our magic wand and click on the areas we want to show black, like that. So now we are going to copy this black area, Control-C or Command-C, and go back to our new design to put it here. Let's, Command-T is also the way to free transform this, but you can just you can click on free transform to get this box and be able to do that. Okay, let me see if I recall the inspiration here. It seems to be pretty big of an apple. So yeah, this could be a nice big apple, because later we will put the worm here, the message, and the name of the teacher. Okay, agree with this? So now what we do is, this is the layer. This layer only exists to hit Command here and select the shape. Remember that when you have a selection, you can actually hide this this layer and still work on the background layer with the selection. So basically, once you have something selected, just click the delete key and you will create a punch. One thing we can do maybe before is, let me see if the feathering was pretty, no, it's okay. We're going to keep it like that. The edge will be slightly feathered. So unselect, and now we have the punched hole. What we need to do now is we need to put our worm here. So let's open the worm graphic we have here and select everything about this little fellow. Magic wand, and let's pick. Well, pretty much, I think I can just the white stuff and just reverse and have this character selected. Obviously, I will need to add these elements to be part. Okay, I'm not quite selecting. Okay, let me just simply grab these eyes, and there you go. So let's copy this element and put it here, like that. Yeah, that's a good place to be. I think it's a bit small, I don't know, but let me check my idea. Could be bigger, but this is correct. So this is going to be our new overlay. Basically, this will be our background, but behind this will be our map, and then we're going to put the text elements. We just come here to export this PNG. This is going to be the okay, the apple worm, like that. And let's go to Customily. In our design, we are going to start off with a dynamic image, which is the object that we can upload basically any of this. And let's resize this to fit the entire print area. Great, that's our overlay. Double click, overlay. Locked, like that. Then we're going to create a map. The map will need to be dragged below this, and now it's showing on the apple. Let's stretch this a bit, like that. Yeah, and great thing about map behaviors, you can start off with any initial value, an initial location. It can be the word map, or it can be something more precise. It can be input that, or actually be here somewhere in the stuff, like that. Yeah, so this could be my initial position, and you will have a lot of styles. So I can click on one to preview the style and check, for example, another one like this. If you recall, we have these free styles. So if you click on the one, Customily will create the options, so you will be able to swap between styles. Now that we have a map element, and we are going to call this the select school location, we can start with the text elements. First text element will be the main message and title. This will be the, sorry, this is where you make the difference. Better font, let's go with, and definitely the size should be bigger. So first of all, we need a couple of lines. You see 3 lines here. So we are going to let Customily have automatic multi-line. So it will, as long as I keep making this bigger, let's go 500. If I make this 100, it's jumping one line. If I make it 150, it will be another. If there's no space, I may want to extend this. This is too big. Let's go like that. I don't like this jump, so let's go with, okay, just like that. Yeah, if I want my text to show like this, I need to set it up so whenever I put this to be my my initial value, it will show like this. Just that's why it's very important to type in stuff and see how it looks in the front end. Then we will, this is one text element. Remember to have this named so you don't forget. We want to add a text box for our children to sign this letter. So this will have a font called the Sunny Sunday and multi-line and stuff, but this is too small as well. So this will be the biggest size, and this will be the smallest size. yeah, just in case there's a lot of children, and they will type, I don't know, Joe, and they can just go comma and keep typing, 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 and it will start to jump lines like that. Or we can actually jump the line ourselves. Yeah, and keep on going like that. So customers will be able to customize this any way they want by jumping or not jumping, because we will need to prevent a lot of kids to show up in this list. Final text we're going to create is a curved text. Curved text can be really amazing once you become friends with that. Let's start with the character because it starts in 10, which is really small, and go with a nice font. Okay, so we can move this around to position that. You see there's a red arc that will establish the trajectory and the extent of the text, and we can move that to extend it, or you can scratch this like. If we don't like the shape of the arc, we can always reshape this a bit by dragging oops, yeah, dragging up and down. As you see, it goes way back and forth like that. So we can slightly change the shape of the arc to match our ideas. If this is too small, yep, we may want to make this bigger, or yeah, bigger like that. That's more interesting. We may want to skip this out because of the letters pushing in, maybe like that, or maybe arc out this. But you can see where this will shape up. So finally, we need to change this text, which is the students, and this text, which is the teacher's name. And that's it. Basically, your customers will be able to customize this and the map. Of course, we will fix this message, just like we did with the other design. And all we did was actually upload one image. And yes, the image was created on Photoshop or any other software, but it implied putting a black and white graphic, punching a hole on the background, and adding some extra clip art. I will edit the options because I want to make sure that the preview options, that this, where you make the difference, this doesn't show. It shows as an initial value, but you cannot change it. And okay, so which one will be the best order? First, the school map location, then the style, then the teacher, and then the students. Yeah, I guess so. And the students, well, it's one single line text. We need to change that to multi-line, like make it text area, so they can type in as many students as they want in many lines. So now that you have your designs, what do? You go to the start section, you create a new product, select Gearment. Remember that was our original print-on-demand provider. Pick the product. There's no variants to pick, so click next. And if we go to our design library, we will see our new designs in here. We will create the two hearts map first. Once I click on the design, Customily will automatically create a new listing in my store. It will connect that listing to Gearment through the API. It will gather the information about the print area and about the mockup, and it will put the design on the print area and on the mockup. And so creating a new template with a new set of options, and that template will load on the front end. Later, we can actually go back to the back end and see what Customily created, but this is a very quick system when you have an idea and you have a product and you wish to have the rest of the stuff created automatically. So this spinning is the template, and you see it's actually creating a brand new product here. We can search for a location. That will update here. We can type in a location. Another location can be anywhere around here, but actually more precise if we want to, something like that. And select. It will update. And if you like this preview, you can save it to be your new product image. See that the background actually makes the product look better. The maps have this filter. And if we were to change the name of the product, because I don't want this to be poster kind of, let's remember this. Let's put a price on this and say live session teacher hearts poster. You see the messages actually are sticking and you cannot change them. So everything seems to be correct based on the options we put together. So we can publish this. Oh, remember that when I show you that I put the API key of Gearment, I actually didn't do it. Basically, it's because I didn't paste anything. So when I save it, nothing got saved. So this reminder will always tell you that you're missing the API key of your print-on-demand provider. And until you put that API key, you will not have the automatic fulfillment. And here we have the live product. If you stay with me just for 1 second, we will create the second one. You see, now that I have the design, creating a product is just 3 clicks away. You see, the process takes less than 2 minutes. Okay, almost there. Remember, these assets will be uploaded with the video in our YouTube channel. You can play around with this and hopefully improve this. Remember, this is really fast. It's less than an hour work. But now we have the product ready to go. Apparently, I gave this the black style, but actually I can change this. You see how the style gets changing. The message is fixed, and I can type in the teacher's name. I can type in the students. And I keep going, but there's a lot of space available. And once we like this, change the location, something, yeah, more green, something like that. Okay, and save this to be the new brief. I'm going to change the name, of course, of this because there's too many posters around. Live session. Okay, and we can publish this now. And now we have this product working on. Again, the options are loading. The map is also working perfectly. And you can play around with the locations and see how many children you can fit. Okay, well, 2 new products created from the same original Gearment product and new designs. We learned some new tools about graphic creation. Let me go back to my presentation. And well, I really hope now you have things clear as to how to create these kind of products, how to shape maps, and also give color to those maps. Okay. If you have further questions, always reach out to our support team at support@customily.com. You can also open a live chat in the app. And it's great to join our Facebook communities because there's a lot of talking and sharing about ideas. We have people sharing videos and commenting live sessions and helping others. So it's a great way to interact with other Customily users and try to find the best solutions and ideas. Okay, well, thank you all for joining these live sessions. We created an amazing products together, and you learn a couple of other tools from other softwares. Always looking forward for new ideas and new live sessions. So see you next Thursday with new products to come. Have a great day. Bye bye.